Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show. How's everybody doing today? Monday, got a few games here on the slate. Some pretty good games. There's a couple I might be staying away from, to be honest, as we got that Philly-Portland game. No idea what's going to happen with Joel, to be honest. I don't really know what's going to happen with Portland ever, to be honest, as well. So we're not sure if we're going to be looking at that one. We just had Kyrie ruled out in the Dallas game, so we got to keep track of that. Good to see a lot of y'all in here early so we can make sure that we're not missing any of this stuff. If you are not yet aware of what we're doing here, jump in the comments, bring your bets, and we will be looking at all that stuff together. I've got a few plays already on the card. I'm going to share those. I'm going to be going game by game, though, and try to keep this thing a little bit more organized. Got David helping out, always running this thing, producing behind the scenes for us, so much appreciated. He's going to be tracking those bets for you guys, so if you do want to get in there, like I said, bring your bets and get in the comments. We'll take a look together. I'll show you the tools I'm using. Going to share my screen. I believe if you guys are here nice and early, you probably know what the deal is. So quick look. It was a rough weekend, y'all. I mean, Saturday we had a good show, but came away with some wrong plays. Sunday basically came close once again, but didn't hit on the RJ or the Pirtle. That's what crushed us at the end there. Came in with those bets a little bit late on Sunday, and they did not hit. But we're still up 38.8 units on the season, so we're going to keep it rolling. The thing I learned from this slate right here is mostly, I don't know if you can trust the injury report or the Nets when they say Cam Thomas is on a minutes restriction and then leads the team in shots and minutes and all that. So that was my biggest takeaway. But you see the Miles Turner block there. I'm sharing that with you guys one more time. That's going to be a bet pretty much every time the Miles Turner plays against the Celtics. It's going to be under 2 blocks. He got 1 in this last game. He had 0 in the prior game. We still got plus 105 on him to go under. So write that down for yourselves. Keep it to yourselves. Maybe don't tweet it. Maybe just sort of let's try to keep it a little bit more under wraps. We got plus 135 on Miles Turner in the previous game to go under 2 blocks. It's going to be a go-to, just a system play. Over the last 12 days, up about 9 units now. We had a 15-unit streak going for 10 days in a row, and then we lost 6 over the weekend. So down to 9 units over the last 12 days, but feeling good about it. If you do want to jump into the VIP, definitely check out the links in the description of the video so you get all these plays as soon as I'm making them. And for today, I am offering this. Put this in the video that I had last night as well. So if you are interested in getting a free month in the VIP Discord, use code LYB. If you don't have an Underdog book or a BetMGM book, you can get that using code LYB. Get yourself some free money, get yourself some bonus bets, and get yourself a free month in the VIP. So screenshot yourself signing up using the code. Send me the screenshot there on either DMs for Twitter or Discord. It's at JL Boogie everywhere with a Y at the end. So hope to see some of y'all there. I got a bunch of people in last night actually on the VIP for a month. So we'll see how it goes. If you're tracking your favorite cappers, please make sure you're doing it for more than a night or 2 nights or 3 nights. Like track the people that you like for a month, see how they're doing. Make sure they're giving you their record and being honest. That's the best way to do this thing. Just trying to make that clear for y'all. All right. Give that video a like if you have not yet. Be much appreciated. I'm going to get into the first game here because I do have some looks from Charlotte and Chicago. So I'm going to get into that right now. What we got here? Charlotte and Chicago. And we're going to be using player props madness, just props madness. I don't know why I keep saying player props. Player props madness is the tool that you're going to see me using the most here. And that is also something you can get 25% off your first month. If you don't have props madness and you're betting on hoops, man, you got to figure that out. You definitely need to be using this one for sure. I know we have some NFL in here as well. So I want to look at that real quick. And see what you guys are putting. I see a lot of football bets in here. So let me jump into there. David's going to keep compiling these bets for us, and then we'll get into it. So the first one I was just looking at that I saw, first of all, appreciate having all y'all in here really early. C-Biz, been around now for a minute. Appreciate you, man. What's up, Graham Reaper? Great name. Wonderful name. We're about to be lit. What's up, Nate? Been around for a while too, man. Good to have you. King Wood. We got tipping wheelchairs as always, and Stan, the man, Walker. Good to have you in here too, bro. Yeah, we got to look at Josh Giddey assists. I see all these looks. David's getting those for you. I wanted to at least take a look at one of these football bets real quick. Marcus was talking about Ricky Pearsall, and I did put that in the video and bet it myself for tonight's game there for the 49ers. You looked at Jared Allen as well. I like that. I gave this out in the video too. Jared Allen was the first bet I gave out last night, which was a double-double for Jay Allen. I'm not sure what that's at right now, but that's the bet that I have in for the Cleveland game right now against the Dubs. And I'll be looking at that game too, because I think there's going to be a couple more bets. As far as Pearsall goes, yeah, man. I mean, if he's good for 4 targets, I think he's good for 20.5 yards and 2 receptions. They keep giving us that. I still drink the juice on it. So if you're looking at one play there, Ricky Pearsall was in the video last night. Gibbs rushing yards worries. Yeah, if Campbell, that's what I was worried about, and that's what I talked about in the video. So I took Jahmyr Gibbs for the receiving yards. So if you're looking at that, I'm gonna just pull up Outlier for a minute. This is the go-to for me when it comes to NFL, just getting all the lines in one place, getting all the good info in one place. If I'm looking at Gibbs, the thing that worries me just is what you were saying right there, David, which is just that he might not be needed. I don't know that I think this game's gonna be a little bit closer than maybe everybody might anticipate, but I still think that the Lions are gonna have a ton of success on offense and that you won't necessarily need Gibbs. So if we still have that at 30.5 receiving yards for our guy here, let me see where we're at with the receiving yards. Man, it's supposed to be in chronological. There we go. Receiving yards for him. You love the targets. You see the last 3. He's gone 30 plus in the last 3. The receptions and the targets and the volume 6, 7, 5. So I think if he's getting 5 to 6 targets, I gotta imagine he's good for that. He's looking at 14.5 yards per reception, which is pretty insane for a running back, as we know, especially someone who's getting targeted over the last 4 games. He's got like 5 targets, 6 targets almost per game for this man. So I think he's going to continue to be involved in that. The thing I like about it versus the Niners, you see they're second in passing yards allowed. First of all, that is a little bit of a misnomer there. They're also 28th in pass EPA. So this is also linked in there. This is the site I'm pulling up right now. Terrible name, as David will tell you, RBSDM. Makes you think of other things. But if you're looking at the defense here on this site, it's really easy to just get EPA and all the different success rate and some of these underlying metrics. So I would definitely make sure you're using this or one of these types of sites to get stuff a little bit deeper than just yards. But if we look at the 49ers here and we look at their rush EPA, the rush EPA is 27th. So they're going to give it up. Their dropback EPA on defense is a little bit better, but still not something to write home about. 14th, middle of the pack, as we see. I think you can get that against them. If we look at them in the last 4 weeks as well, what week is it? 17, so 13 to 16. If we update it to just the last 4 weeks for them too, defense been struggling for sure. We look at the dropback EPA in the last 4 games for this team, basically where it's at. And then the rush EPA is just continuing to drop. It's also at 28th. So you got to look at some of these recent numbers for them too and realize 29th actually in the last 4 in terms of their rush defense overall giving up points. So the rush yards will be there. But once again, I don't know if Gibbs is necessarily going to be out there long enough to get it. So that's kind of where I'm at with Gibbs. I would take the receiving yards if you like that. Hopefully I'm answering that question right now, Ricardo, that we're doing a little bit of football. Let me know if you do have some of that kind of stuff. We'll take a look at it, but also want to shout out a couple of the VIP cappers. We know we got in the chat here and in the stream, we got Free Sauce. He's gonna be dropping looks. Make sure you check out his stuff. And our man, TJK, we're going to call him Hannah, not Hannah, but really good looks as well. So yeah, you got to check out if they're putting anything in here. I'll be listening to those dudes, and I'll call out a couple of the other ones too. We got to get y'all like some icons to indicate that we should be looking at that. This man too, don't listen to anything he says. What's up, Kings and Queens? No, just kidding. You probably already know about this man right here. So hopefully Dash dropping some gold for us as well while he continues to live a life of doing other stuff as well and just trying to make sure, like, dude, this dude grinds. That's all I'm saying. Daft Diddy in the house. I didn't know he was going by Daft Diddy yet. Still see some of the good looks that you guys have in here. CBiz caught my attention with the NBA. I'm going to keep going down and just stick to this stuff with you guys. Just kind of go back and forth a little bit just to start and then get back into the NBA. But Grimes, I got to at least call this out. I do think he's a good look. I loved the idea of Quentin Grimes against the Kings with Kyrie in there. So we got Kyrie out. I don't know who's distributing the ball. Probably Spencer Dinwiddie, who you wrote here too. You like the points. I kind of think I'm going to take a look at the Dinwiddie assists. David, if you don't mind, can you at least track that for me, since we all know about my attention span? Just that I want to take a look at the Dinwiddie assists specifically when we get to that Dallas game.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you, sir. Oh, wow. Zach LaVine ruled out. We got to look at Josh Giddey. All right. Let me just say this because Bobby Chura, the homie, is in here. I do like Jennings. The TD, if it's plus 180 or better, that was the number that I got. That would be worth it for Jennings, was plus 180. If you're looking at Juwan, spelled Jauan, by the way. So if you want some Juwan stuff, I like the receiving yards for him as well. I think everything on the outside, we know Detroit sucks against wide receivers. If we look at that by going to Jennings for 1 sec, and then I'm going to get into some more NBA, I promise, because we got a lot to look at, and we got news flying around in the NBA that's really impacting the timing of these bets. That's what we be doing on this show. So the receiving yards for Juwan, 63.5. You can see here, Detroit pass funnel, not the worst pass defense by any means. Still a pretty good pass defense, except for it's just getting a ton of passing attempts against it, right? So in terms of the receiving yards, 28th overall, 32nd, dead last against wide receiver receiving yards. So this is the guys I'm attacking for the Niners here. I'm off Debo Samuel props. They tried to get him involved. He was a squeaky wheel. He got greased a couple games in a row. Didn't have very big games while being a focal point of the offense. I think you got to go to the outside with Jennings and Pearsall a bit. And Pearsall will probably be running from the slot a little bit as well. I think both those guys are better looks here. The yards, and if you want the tutty for Jennings, I'm a little bit off the tutties right now as those have not been going well for your boy. But the other one, I think you got to take Brock. Let me at least put that out there. Like, this is a team in the in the Lions that like is depleted. They are depleted on defense right now. And I think the passing yards are going to continue to be there for him. If you look at the Lions over the last 4 games, they're allowing 290 passing yards per game over their last 4. I believe they won all 4 of them, right? Like this is a team that is just dominating on offense with 33 points per game for the Lions and the most explosive plays in the league. You know, they can score in bunches and in a hurry. So I think you need to take the opposing quarterback. The attempts are going to be there. Where are the pass attempts at? Just because I want to show you pass attempts against them, they're 28th. And this is what I'm showing you right here, right? They're 5th most passes against them because teams know they have to pass against this awesome offense that is going to continue to put up points against this depleted as well 49ers defense, to be honest. So I like Brock. I like the wide receivers. You probably take the wide receivers for the Lions. I just didn't get that deep into it because I don't know how much the Lions are going to need to kind of finish this thing off if they're already up a bunch. But they can still win the 1 seed, I'm pretty sure. Either way, let's look at some basketball here because that Giddy news, I'm just going to say it, is making me giddy. Yeah, but Zach LaVine is ruled out. So appreciate the looks there. Keep in mind, too, if you would, go ahead and give that video a like if you're in here. You got a lot of folk in here right now, so would appreciate that. Goes a super long way for me when you guys do that, so much appreciated. And one more reminder, since I showed this earlier, if you do want to get into the VIP for a free month, sign up for Underdog, BetMGM. There's a few other books in the links that are linked in the description of the video. So if you do want to check out the other books that maybe you don't have, like Sleeper and Better, those books specifically, jump into the description of the video, get the link. If you do sign up, use code LYB, get all your free money and your free bonus bets, then screenshot yourself signing up, send me that screenshot on Twitter or Discord, and use @JLBoogie. That's the name everywhere. Go ahead and get you a free month in the VIP. Up 38.8 units right now. We were up 44.5 and lost a bit in the last 2 days. So we're going to get it back here and climb back above 40 today for sure. But let's get into Chicago and Charlotte because the Giddy the LaVine news is huge. I was already looking at Giddy and I was also looking at Vooch. And now we got Vooch up at 21.5 points. We're going to get LaVine out of there in a minute. So let's start with this. I've been showing you guys the on-off stuff on Fantasy Labs, right? So let's go back to that real quick, and we can look at some of the on-off stuff and see how the lineups that we can expect to play tonight for the Bulls. How do they play without, obviously Kobe White's going to be a look. So this is also linked in the description of the video. You have this to be able to look at on-court, off-court numbers. I'm trying to make it a little bigger because I know it's not super legible. It kind of messes up the whole thing here. But all right, on-court, we're going to take Kobe White. We're going to put him. We're going to put Giddy. We're going to, I don't know when Lonzo's going to be in there as well. We'll see him at some point. So I'm going to take these 3 right here. I'm going to put them on court. Off court, I'm going to put the guys that we know aren't playing now. Please work for me. Okay, I got to make it smaller. Someone needs to help this website out with its dimensions. All right, I'm going to take Ayo. He's out. Ayo Dosunmu being out was one of the main reasons I was already ready to look at Josh Giddey. So we'll get back to that. But Zach LaVine, off court. Ayo off court. So there hasn't been this matchup or this lineup that often where Kobe and Giddey and Vooch were playing without Dosunmu or LaVine. But in those minutes, Josh Giddey is looking at a triple-double per 36 minutes. Now, I don't think he's going to get more minutes now. I don't know if they're going to be 36, but they're going to be above 30 for Josh Giddey. And that's kind of the first look that I have here. Kobe White, it's not enough of a sample size. He didn't do well in the 20 minutes he's played with this lineup with Giddey and Vooch out there with him. Vooch also not looking great on the points, but this is a very, very small sample size. So it's not something that we can necessarily rely on too great. But at least for Giddey, I do think the rebounds and the assists are a look here for our guys. So let me pull him up real quick. I mean, the points I'm not even scared of at this point either, as we saw him go over recently against the Hornets. Had 17 points just a week ago? Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. 29 minutes, 17 points in that game. The rebounds were at 9 and the assists were at 7. So I think let's start with the RA. 14 and a half. I still think that's really beatable for him at this point with the minutes. So we got to assume he's playing 30 tonight. I mean, they don't have enough left for him not to. He's played 30 minutes in 9 games. Most of these had all their players though, right? So there was one where Kobe White's missing. Pat Williams is missing. Doesn't really matter. Levine's out here. Levine. All right, cool. So let's see. We've got a bad defense against both mostly assists and points. Do we just hit the 14 and a half? This is a really nice number right here. Let me see where the boards are at. So they're at 6.5. This is tough. It could just be honestly like PRA as well for Giddey in this one. As we lose Levine, you're losing a lot of shots. Kobe White's at 19 and a half. I don't know how we don't hit his stuff. I think we just got to hit that blindly at this point, to be honest, with Kobe. So 19 and a half is minus 106 on Caesar. Let me just see what it is on FanDuel. FanDuel is not pulling through right now on Props Madness. I don't know that it will be anytime soon. I thought it was going to be up a little bit earlier. It still hasn't. Let me go to this game and see what they've got Kobe at. Because now I'm just going to this 19 and a half for Kobe against this horrible defense. Where's Kobe? First quarter. Kobe alt points. Let's see what we got him at. 18 and a half minus. Okay, so 19 and a half is minus 138. So Caesar's at minus 136 is hanging a really nice number. I'm going to hit that for the Kobe White points real quick. Let's take over 19 and a half minus 106 on Caesar. If you don't mind throwing that in, David, on the bottom line, that'd be sick. Much appreciated.
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, bro.
Just want to give you a heads up. The
go
most
ahead,
common question we're getting while we're talking about PRA and everything, folks want to know what you think about another triple double for Giddey.
Yeah, I know. What's that number?
I don't have it up right now, but I'll find it and put it in the chat over here.
Yeah, got to accept that he just got one right against the Bucks, I believe. So I can understand why that's popular. All right, let's kick it though with Kobe White and the other bet that I have in this game. If you don't mind putting that on the bottom line too, it is the Miles Bridges bet. So we'll get to that in 1 second, which isn't impacted by Levine, but Kobe White, I got to take over 19 and a half points, minus 106. Let me see if I can get that in real quick. All right. All right. I would play that Kobe White bet. If you get it at 19 and a half, I'd play that sucker to like minus 130, essentially. DraftKings lowering their shit here. This might get bumped down too, but minus 106 is still a great number. What I mean here is you can see like half the books have 20 and a half listed for Kobe. You can see other half, even fewer than half, have 19 and a half listed as the best number for Kobe White's points. That makes me think that either these 20 and a halves are going to push down to 19 and a half, and eventually they'll flip it to that, or these 19 and a halves are going to move to the 20.5. But you're not going to see this much disparity between books. I've talked about it on here before. They're copycats, so they're just going to do what the rest of the market is doing. Think about if you are selling anything, if you're selling a product and everybody else on the market has the product available for cheaper than you might have to lower your prices, right? You just kind of get market pressured into that. So that's what we're going to see, how that market pressure works for Kobe White. Does it go up or down? But I'm already going to hit that. So let's look at the Giddey stuff. It's tough because I don't have very much in the way of minutes. Like I said, I love to be able to use this to show me the lineups. I don't have that. What I do have is at least 20 minutes of action that's showing me Giddey is averaging a triple-double per 36. I don't know how I get to, 36 minutes would be more than he's played all season. And I don't know if there's been any games that he's played though without Dosunmu and without Zach LaVine. Let me take out LaVine. Let me take out Dosunmu. And he has not played a game this year without them. He's only played 1 without Dosunmu. He's played 4 without LaVine. I'm not sure how much LaVine really impacts him. And that's why I just think the minutes aren't going to get too far above 30. So if you take him at 30 minutes, once again, let's do this with the minutes filter here and take this up to 30. Let's take it to 28 because he just hasn't even played enough games for us to care about that. 28 minutes without Levine against 3 teams. One of them sucked. One of them was the Mavs, and the 2 of them were the Mavs and the Wolves here. The rebounds weren't good against those good rebounding teams. This is not one of those. Man. Do we have a number on the triple-double for our guy, David, if you're able to find that? If not, I can also.
I don't. I actually realized I don't have the bets that you already had in for today up, so I'm just grabbing those.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate that. All right, let me get to player combos here. Let's see what it is over here. Triple-double for Gidey. Plus 1,200. Not terrible. Let's see what it is on DK for a second. But yeah, I mean, I can understand wanting to do that. That's a stretch, man. I would have to go into some deep odds to understand like the implied odds of him doing that. Plus 1,200 is not a very high implied probability, obviously, but
a little too arousing.
Yeah, maybe a little too arousing. I don't know. What is now we're talking like Daft. I wonder what Daft thinks about it. Let's see. I'm seeing this stuff in here for Gidey. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm not gonna hold anybody that wants to hit a Josh Giddey. Damn, I don't know. There's something weird about using the word bait in the same sentence as Giddey. Probably because jailbait comes to mind. Just put a quarter unit on triple-double just in case he goes off. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Yeah, and there's no such thing as too much arousing. We can only get more aroused for sure. So I appreciate that, Tapped. Yeah, throw maybe a little sprinkle on the triple-double. But that obviously is just a dart throw for sure. Even the double-double is plus 210. I don't hate that. You can get plus 1,400 on DraftKings. So if you are going to take a TD for him, triple-double, make sure you are shopping those lines to get the best number there. But all right. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it sucks that anything Dav says is just pleasing to the ear because of his fucking Aussie accent. It's a cheat code, man. All right, let me move past this game a little bit. The other bet that I haven't gone over with y'all yet is Miles Bridges boards. And those are still available at 7.5. I took this at minus 130 and was fine drinking the juice for Miles Bridges to get 8 rebounds in this one. You can take 8.5 for, some big plus money if you want. It's like plus 110, probably, maybe a little bit better for him to get 8.5. I don't see the need. Similar to the way I concluded that was similar to this Giddey one. If I pull up Charlotte, there are a million people missing for Charlotte. Let me pull up the injury report real quick and show you. So this is linked in the description of the video as well. This is the official NBA injury report. The teams are sending their reports to the NBA. They put this out for media and company. So this is what I would be using as gospel when it comes to who is actually injured. And then the other sites are going to be faster than this one. This is going to update once an hour, every half hour. So 4:30 came out, 5:30. Next one will be the 6:30 report in about 30 something minutes. If we're looking at, where did I just go to? Yeah, I'm showing the Hornets. We're going to have no LaMelo, no Trey Mann, no Cody Martin, no Brandon Miller. KJ Simpson actually is available. He's a G League player. Nick Smith and Grant Williams also out. So I'm just going to put out off the court all those dudes that are not going to play. Brandon Miller, Cody Martin, Grant Williams. Let's see. I know KJ is going to play. LaMelo and Mark and Nick Smith Jr. also out. Trey Mann also out. I just took everybody off the court that's not going to be playing for Charlotte in this game. And then we definitely got to get off this because this is Charlotte, Chicago, and we're still fucking talking about it. Let me get on standard. All right. So per 36, the most common lineup here, Josh Green, Micic, Bridges played 69 minutes. Nice. Salon, Jeffries, and then, Mark Williams and Nick Richards. You can see they're basically splitting time evenly. I'm pretty tired of betting on either of those bros, to be honest, but one of them is probably going to have a good game against Vooch, who is a turnstile under the rim. He sucks on defense, as we know. One way that they're terrible on defense down low, if you do use Props Madness and you scroll down when you're on points, this will bring up the shot chart for the player where he's scoring the percentage of his points. You can see Miles Bridges scoring half his points, 51% of them right next to the rim, 21% above the break threes. Then you see the defense as well. The team that is the worst in the league at defending inside of 5 feet next to the basket is the Vucevic-led Bulls because it's Vooch. So we know that he's going to be sucky down low. So if you do want to take some stuff, but Mark Williams, both those dudes scare me. If we're looking at Bridges, we see he's at about 10.3 rebounds per 36 just without having any of these dudes on the court, right? So put anybody you want on the court with him outside of all these guys. He's at about 10 per 36. I think he's probably at about 32, 33 minutes. They're not just like blindly playing him. He played 38 against OKC. Everything else is about 34 to 36 minutes for him. And I would guess that's about where he's going to be at in this game. So if you give him about 34 minutes, you can also, one really helpful tool here when you're using Fantasy Labs, you can change this from per 36 minutes to seeing his stats per minute. And this is a really helpful tool because then I can project how many minutes he's going to play and just multiply it by that number. So for Miles Bridges, we're going to come up with like 0.29 rebounds per minute. So if I just multiply 0.29 by, let's say 34 is reasonable. He's at about 9.8. So I think anything that is like, if you need him to get 8 rebounds or fewer, that is a good bet for this man, who I do have projected to get close to 10 if he plays the 34 minutes or so against a pretty bad rebounding team that also gives up the second most rebounds to the power forward position. One little note on that, and I'll pull up FanDuel Fantasy Pros. This just shows you team defense versus position. Definitely not an end all be all, like, decider for when we make bets or not, but it's helpful. And the thing I want to caution with, or at least heed here, is like, first of all, yes, this team is giving up the second most rebounds to power forwards. But what's the difference between a power forward and a small forward these days? Like, it's pretty non-existent in terms of the difference. It's just two forwards that are probably both skilled, both can shoot the three. Maybe one dude's bigger, so he's the 4. But the small forward, I believe, is also getting a good amount of boards against this team. And Miles Bridges is very much the 4 on this team, not the 3. Either way, they're giving up a lot of rebounds. So forwards in general, power forwards second most. So we got Miles Bridges on the card. All right, explained, and we can move on. Let's see, because Kyrie's out, and I know Quentin Grimes was a look. I'm going to go to that one right after we get to this LAC NOP game. Quick reminder, go ahead and give that video a like for all y'all that are in here. Much appreciated. That is going to go a long way for me if y'all are getting anything out of the stream. Big, muy helpful. If you are interested in getting into the VIP, I've been sharing that we are up 39.8 units, whatever I just said a minute ago. And so we're going to continue to climb to get up to 100 before the regular season ends. If you do want to jump in for a free month of the VIP, plus get some free money on some sports books you may not yet have, sign up. You can either go with Underdog. We got BetMGM. We also have a few more books linked in the description of the video. So check out the description of the video for anything you want in terms of these promos, as well as the tools that I'm using here, like Props Madness and the like. So that's where you find everything you need. But appreciate y'all being in here either way. We're growing this thing, man. All right, let's get to NOP and the Clips. While I sip this water, David, anything jump out at you at this game?
I'm kind of curious about boards for Missy, and there was a question in here about Zubac boards too.
Yeah, I think that's where I got to start. So the play that I made already was a little SGP. So I really want to take Harden dimes. This is how I'm breaking down this game. This team is terrible on defense. The Pelicans are just horrible. They are the 29th defensive rated team. They are allowing the 3rd most assists and the 2nd most points in the paint. They are allowing the 7th most threes, the 4th most rebounds. So when you're on Props Madness, you can hover your cursor over the game that they're about to play, right? Obviously, you can see all the stats of the games that he has played here. But then if you hover over this little bar that allows you to get to the Pelicans game here, you can see all of the Pelicans stats listed in front of you right there. Assists allowed, defensive rating, points in the paint allowed, all this really helpful stuff. So for Harden, I love the dimes. 8.5 really even doesn't scare me at plus money. I've been trying to see if we can get this thing to a good place for 7.5. Once again, I'm kind of looking at Pinnacle and saying this is a sharper book. Pinnacle has this 7.5 minus 155. Strong indication that this is going to go over according to Pinnacle, right? So for James Harden on the dimes, what I did was put together an SGP. And this is all scrolling on the bottom line. For those of you coming in late, the bets that I have made that are on my card right now, those are scrolling on the bottom line there. As you can see, got the first one up, Jared Allen, like him for the DD, some of that stuff coming up. James Harden SGP, though, I took him for 8 assists, and I took Norm for 20 plus points. And I like both these things correlated very much so. James is diming up a lot of his dimes, most of his dimes almost are to Norm Powell specifically on the catch and shoot or on the drive. So I love Norm to get his points. This Pelicans team, as I've talked about before, is horrible at limiting catch and shoot. So I'm going to just show you guys real quick on NBA Advanced Stats page. You can look at how good teams are versus specific shot types. So it actually is kind of correlated to this Harden threes look, right? Because Harden is going to be shooting, Tipping Wheelchairs brought up Harden threes. Harden's going to be shooting off the pull-up. Norm Powell is going to be shooting off the catch and shoot, right? We can look at that by going to NBA Advanced Stats, going to players, going to tracking data here. And tracking data is going to be super helpful to show you a lot of specific stuff for players. I can look at pull-up shooting, and I can look at catch and shoot shooting, right? So for the Clippers, I'm going to look at all the players and how often they take catch and shoot shots versus how often they take pull-up shots. Big deal, because defenses play differently against and impact those shots very much so. So for the Clippers players, once this loads, I can see the amount of field goal attempts off of the catch and shoot. Norm is at 4.5 a game. And I'm going to have to go all the way down because James Harden does not ever want to shoot off the catch and shoot. He's averaging 1.4 catch and shoots attempts per game, with Norm doing the bulk of it right here at 4.5 per game and making like almost 50% of them. So now to get the information that I need about the Pellies, I'm going to go to teams, opponent, shooting, and this is where I can see all the stuff I need about the opponent's shot selection and whatnot. So I'm going to change overall to general. I know it's a lot, but you can also go back in the video and just kind of rewatch this if you want to see how I'm doing stuff. I'm going to go to catch and shoot, and now I can see frequency, how many are made against them per game, how many are attempted against them per game. Frequency is really helpful because not every team plays at the same pace. So frequency gives me a percentage of the shots against them that are going up there catch and shoot. The frequency for New Orleans is like 6th highest, and they're giving up the 2nd most made shots off the catch and shoot. So I don't really want to be targeting pull-up dudes versus this Pelicans defense as much as I do catch and shoot guys like Norm Powell. So that's why I like the Harden dimes, and I like the Powell points more than I like the Harden points necessarily, or the threes. But the points are super low too. I will say 21.5 is super beatable for this man. And most of these books are hanging 22.5. So if you took the points for Harden, I would not blame you at all. I think that's a pretty good look as well. But let's get to the man of the show here, which is Zushak. The Pellies suck. End of sentence. They also suck specifically against the center position, where they are giving up no offense to Yves Missy, who I think is like 2nd in offensive or rookie of the year rating. There's no offensive rookie of the year in the NBA, just rookie of the year, right? The award. The points here to the center, they are giving up the like 5th, 7th most, but the rebounds are giving up the most to the center position. Zubac is a monster. We know that. The rebounds are 12.5. Oh, they're already at minus 130 on DraftKings. I still think the minus 105 is a play, and that's going to be what I do for Zoo. He's gone over this only 11 to 28 times. Here's what I want to see, though. How has he done against teams that suck at rebounding? So let's go to opponent rebounds allowed. Let's go to the bottom 10 teams in the league or so and see how he's done against those teams. He's averaging 13, but, it's not much of a bump. It's just that this team sucks. And I think if you project Zoo for like 30 to 32 minutes is what I meant to say, then I think you put him at about 14 boards. And I think that's enough at minus 105 for me to go ahead and take this for Zushak. So I'm going to take that and add it to the card, because if Zubac gets a ton of rebounds and I don't bet this, I'm going to fucking hate myself. So I'm going to add that. If you don't mind, David, you can throw that on the bottom line. The best number that I have access to the Bet365 as well. So we're going to do that for minus 105 over 12.5 rebounds for Zushak. I was pretty sure I was going to add this, and it was minus 105 when we started the show. So I'm still rolling with it. I'm putting that on the card, getting that bet in for myself as well. Minus 105 on Bet365. I would play this to like minus 115. I don't think I would play this much past minus 115, but I still think you're getting value at minus 115 if that's the only thing you can play. But once again, have as many accounts to as many sports books as you can. It doesn't cost money to have an account with them. It just costs money to play. So have an account with everybody, because you're going to get different lines at different books. Right now, if you don't have a Bet365 account, which you might not be able to because of the area you're in, but if you have that availability, you should have a book. You should have an account with every book in your area. So right now, you wouldn't be able to get minus 105 if you didn't have it, right? You might be able to get minus 110, or you're looking at getting all the way down like minus 130 because all you have is DraftKings. So not recommended, man. Have every book that you can so you can get the best price. This, like I said, I'm not playing this past 115 at such a high number, but I think once I get 105 like that, I'm playing it. And I wanted to put that out there on the show. So add in that one. I'm going to update this. Update that. We got the bottom line scrolling with everything that you guys need to. So don't forget to check that out as you're coming into the video and whatnot. All right. Got the Kobe White bet in there from earlier as well. And just want to make sure I'm not missing my little SGP that I've got, which is Norm Powell, 20 plus points. And we took James Harden, 8 plus assists. That SGP got me plus 115 on FanDuel if you do want to run it. Let's see if it's still there for you guys if you do want to run that. So this is the SGP that I put together earlier. I was trying to find a way to play Harden 8 assists, but juice it up because over 7.5 was such a bad number at like minus 140. I loved Norm Powell on the points as is. I'm not even scared of Norm Powell points as at its core number, but I like putting it into this with JH. Nobody calls him that. Why the what am I talking about? 20 plus points for Norm is minus 290. If I add that to the assists for Harden, at his core number, we're still getting 7.5. Yeah. All right. Minus 138. And I said this in the VIP Discord as well. If you took Harden for minus 138 is about as high as I'd go. But if you took Harden for just the assists and you don't want to make an SGP, you just want to keep playing straights, I think you're still getting value at minus 138 for the Harden assists by themselves. But I like adding the Norm 20 plus for the juice. How often Norm's done that so much. I mean, he's a fucking killer this year. I fucking love Norm. Points. Let's put this down right here on the left of this graph on Props Madness. You can see 23.5, this little yellow number. I can move this so I can see the hit rate at different numbers. So since I want to take Norm at 20 plus points, I'm going to put this down to over 19.5 and see what his hit rate is. Man's hit rate on the season. Let's put this at like 40 games or whatever it is. 25. Yeah. So he's at 18, over an 18 of 24 this season, averaging 24 points per game in general. So like, yeah, really love this for Norm at the 20 plus. God, the Pellies suck, man. They're just such a ripe opportunity there. All right. For the Pels, I know Missy was a look, right? So let's at least check it out. But I don't really want to take Yves Missy to rebound over Zubac, who we just put on the card for over 12.5 rebounds, right? Like, I don't know that he's going to have that much success, but let's take a look at why he might. So rebounds for Missy. Let's go back to our fantasy labs here and just see what we can find with the different lineups here for New Orleans, because New Orleans has had its main players back now for a few games, right? So we want to see what he's doing when he plays with those bros. Let's put CJ on the court, and Herb, and where I guess we got to put Trey out there, then DeJounte, and where's our boy Yves down here? So I'm going to put all these dudes on court, see what happens when they're on court together. 135 minutes that these five have been playing together. That's a legit sample size, right? I actually can work with that. In this time frame, let's go instead of per minute, let's go per 36 for a minute. This will help me out here. So Yves is at 0.32 rebounds per minute. He's at 11.4 rebounds per 36 minutes, right? 36 minutes is just, it's basically, what is that? 3/4 of the game. So 3/4 of the game is 36 minutes. That's why we use this number right here. Thank you for that info. Free Sauce. Is Sar in as well? Free Sauce? Because Sar was questionable to play as well. So it'd be good to know if Sar had something come up for him. So for Yves, we're talking about 11.4 per 36, 13 points per 36. How many minutes do we think our boy is going to play is the question. So if we're looking at the most recent games, 27 in an 8-point loss, I mean, that's pretty normal. He had 23 rebound chances in 27 minutes. That's crazy. And 6 rebounds. That's just as crazy. If you're a center and you're getting, what is it, a fourth? That is a fourth. If you're getting 25% of your rebound chances, that's not good, man. You need to be getting a lot more than that. This is probably a one-off game for Yves that he got 23 rebound chances, and he's playing Memphis. Tough matchup for the rebounds. Good rebounding team. But it's kind of the case with him, dude. 21 rebound chances and 9 boards the previous game. You should be getting 11 to 12 rebounds if you're a center and you're getting 21 rebound chances. 17 rebound chances, 9 boards. That's more like it. That's what it should be at. That was against the Nuggets. And then against the Knicks, 15 and 8. He's got it, man. I mean, he's got the opportunity for sure. Now, the Clippers are they're the 4th best rebounding team in the league. They give up the 4th fewest rebounds to their opponent. They play slowly. They play choppy. They play really, really good defense. And then they team rebound. And they have Zubac, one of the best rebounders in the league. So that's what scares me here is the matchup is terrible for him. If we look at how the Clips do against rebounds for centers, they give up the like 7th fewest rebounds per game to the center position. Oh, thank you for that update on Alex Sarr as well. He is available to play, so that's good luck. So the question with Missy is, what's the rebounds at? 9.5. Y'all are tripping. I just told you he's at 11 rebounds per game, per 36 minutes. And he ain't playing no 36 minutes. 27, 29, 40 against the Nuggets. Was that an over? That wasn't even overtime game, right? 30. I think we project him for about 30 to 32. I'm going to pull up Establish the Run real quick. I think some of y'all have seen me pull this up to be able to see. This is not Establish the Run. This is to be able to see with some projections from some really, really sharp dudes who are working over here every day at 5 p.m. You're going to see their full projection detail come out. They're going to have minutes projected for every single player that's going to be playing today. They're going to have points, assists, rebounds, threes, everything. What I care about the most is minutes. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is project how many minutes a guy is going to play, and they're very good at it. So let me pull up Eve. They have him for 31 minutes and 10.4 boards in this one. So that actually adds up. So if Eve is at 0.32 times 0.32 rebounds per minute, like I was saying, times 31 puts him at about 9.9 against a really good rebounding team. I don't want any part of that. Apologies. I'm good on that. Let me keep it moving here. And we're going to go to a different game. And as we go to a different game, well, what should be the next game here? I guess we should go to Cavs Warriors. Nuggets Jazz I'll take a look at. Actually, there was something I wanted to look at in Nuggets Jazz, but I do have that bet in Cavs Warriors. So I'm going to bring that game up, and then we'll get to the Jazz game, and I'm going to try to get to the Dallas game. But I'll tell you right now that I'm probably not touching this Philly and Portland game unless somebody was like, here you go, man. Here's a lock, which don't exist. All right. So for the Cleveland game, as we get into it, another quick reminder, give that video a like. If you're in here, you're getting anything out of it, much appreciated. Another quick reminder, we got guys like Free Sauce that are out in the comments. We got some, I think JK still out there. We got Legacy. Oh, we got Mike in here as well. So we got plenty of VIPs from the Discord who are out here giving plays as well. So definitely check out what they're putting in there, like I said. And if you do want to get into the VIP for a free month, the way you do that is to go ahead and sign up for one of these books if you haven't yet. Either Underdog or BetMGM. You can also get a couple other options in the description of the video. All the links are in there. But anything that you do, if you sign up with code LYB, that'll get you a whole bunch of free bets, some free money, some insurance bets, all that stuff. And it'll get you a free month in the VIP. If you take a screenshot of yourself signing up for the book using the code, send that my way at JL Boogie on Twitter and or Discord, and I'll go ahead and make sure that you get a free month. We got a bunch of people in there right now checking things out. So let's get back into it, though, and look back at this Cleveland Golden State game. We got the Dubs. I believe they're like plus 5.5 now, and we don't have the starting lineups for that, but I'm not too worried about it. So I'll at least give you the bet that I have already. And I got to look at the odds on it. But when I came to this last night, Jarrett Allen was at like 9.5 rebounds. And that is gone for the most part. You can see here Pinnacle has him 9.5, minus 146. And let's take a look. So I got this on FanDuel. I got the double-double for Jay Allen, and I'll go into that why in just one sec. But the double-double for Allen I got at plus 130 here. And another reminder, if you have missed any of the bets that are on the card that I have already, those are scrolling on the bottom line right now. I think we're about to come up on, we just missed them. So you got to wait for one more scroll, and then you get the rest of those bets. The DD for our boy, got to go over to player combos. Double-double for Allen. Oh, wow. The odds went up. Plus 140. What's his rebounds by itself? Lord of mercy. Where you at, Jay Allen? Jay Allen. 9.5 minus 125. Yeah, so that's still playable. It's the same shit on DK as well, but I would still be playing that double for plus 140, the double-double for Jarrett Allen. What I'm looking at here is simple. Like, I'm always just going right to the center who's playing the Dubs to see where they're at. The Dubs give up a ton of rebounds to centers because they don't really have one, although I guess they've been a little better. Not really. They're still giving up the 5th most rebounds per game to the center position because their center is 6'5", bro. Like, Draymond Green is 6'5", not even 6'6", probably. And then you've got Trace Jackson Davis, who is a undersized second year player, maybe third year player, same age as Brandon Podziemski. And just also not a very good rebounder, just that simple. He's going to get a lot more minutes. You also got Jonathan Kuminga, also not a very good rebounder. And I'm actually leaning towards the under for him. The only thing, honestly, is the points. Do you think but the points here are at 12.5 with a pretty good implied probability on Pinnacle, for instance, minus 115 to the over. I think they're saying it's very likely that he gets, it's a good chance that he gets 13 or maybe 12. That's what these books are saying with the way that they're listing this prop. So all he needs is 10. He's gotten 10 in almost every game this season. If we drop this down to 9.5 on the points, we can see in 28 games, he's gone over 9.5 rebounds. Let me get back to the points. Let me get back down to the points here. He's gone over 9.5 points, 19 of 28 games. If we give him 28 plus minutes as well, which he played 30 versus this team last time, he's over in 16 of 20 on the points. Rebounds, similar concept. So when you're using Props Madness, make sure that you are using these filters as much as possible to sort of recreate what you think is going to happen tonight. I think he's going to play 28 minutes tonight against a very bad team. He's already averaging 10 boards or more on the season. This is great right here. And the points, same concept. The other bet I was looking at before I see if there's what you guys are looking at in this game was Kuminga under on the board. Oh, okay. This has gotten bet down. And this probably got bet down from the people that I was talking about it with, who have a lot of money that they put down on bets, and they move markets because they are considered sharps. And they took an under 6.5 rebounds for Jay Kuminga. This is a really good hit spot for him to go under. You can see here he's been going over in the last 4 games, and the rebounding for these teams. Let me look at opponent rebounds allowed. Actually, not bad. Yeah, he got it against the Clips too. Maybe I should be putting a little bit more respect on his name as a rebounder. How have these chances jumped up for Jonathan Kuminga? 15, 7, right? 7 to get 6. Yeah. All right. I don't need to put anything on that. Anything that people were putting in the comments, David, that sounded good to you from this one?
Well, free sauce is all over SAR, even though that's not in this one. But
all right, we'll go to that.
But that's where, yeah.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, but Goga Bitadze is not playing today. Otherwise, we would be betting on him. David, I believe, had a bet on him yesterday, right, David?
Yeah, and a couple different angles on the way you've been working it. I like its head-to-head market in matches too for anybody that has that available to him.
Love that.
That was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. When Goga's back, we'll get right back to betting on Goga. Promises. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were people talking about here?
Right now, there was a lot of looks for SAR, but I was just going to mention that Free Sauce has a look in that Portland game that he mentioned. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but the Tuamani, his rebounds.
Nice.
I think it's at 5.5.
Yeah.
And then thinking about laddering him. When I was looking at it, I was thinking about maybe laddering him up to 8. I'm curious what you think about.
So nothing else for the Cleveland Warriors game?
Then? No. I switched over.
Oh, no worries. That's totally fine by me. I don't have quite as much else for that game, but either way. Sorry. So say the Tumani Kamara one was interesting. My fellow Belgian brother.
Over 5.5 rebounds, and then maybe laddering it up.
Yeah. Free Sauce is about to go ham on the Tumani boards if Joel is ruled out, which I totally understand. And I did. I'll look at that. Let me get to which one do we want to do first then? Wizards, Knicks, maybe? And then we'll.
Yeah. Let's start since that line might move.
All right. Yeah, we can look at it. He screwed me last game, but it was high. It was too high last game, and I took it anyway because I was just desperate to bet, which was fucking stupid. I want to at least answer Amber's question. Amber asked me, why does the pricing matter for a triple-double? Does that better the chance of it hitting? No, but this is the quick thing I'll show you about the odds in general, right? Let's put it this way. I want to know what's the implied probability that he gets a triple-double, right? And that's a number that I can come up with. Is there a 10% chance? Is there a 5% chance? Whatever, right? Every odds that I get are basically telling me what the implied likelihood is that he hits a bet. So if I put the odds in here at plus 1,200, the implied percentage that he hits this bet is 7.69%. Nice. So 7% is the implied odds. I need to come up with my own number to tell me, do I think that he's going to get what do I think is the percentage chance that he gets the triple double? Do I think it's a 7% chance? Do I think it's a 10% chance? If I think it's a 10 to 20% chance that he gets a triple double, and this number is saying the number that they have listed is plus 1200, that number is saying we think there's a 7% chance that he gets it. Well, my likelihood, my numbers and my research tells me that there's a 20% chance that he's going to get the triple double. Now I need to make that bet, because what my numbers and my research and my brain is telling me that there is a 20% chance he gets this, and y'all are pricing this at plus 1200 like it's like a 7% chance, right? Which is really, the odds are really, really good for me. So the odds are in my favor because I think there's a better chance that this happens than the odds that you just gave me. So that's why I want to know what's the implied probability according to the number of the odds that they're giving me. If it's plus 1200, that means they're saying it's a 7% chance of happening. I think there's a 20% chance. Bet. Right. That's what the pricing matters, because I need to compare it to what my research is telling me. So, all right, let's keep going. The Toumani Camara one, that's all free sauce. We're gonna have to get homie on the show. What he's been looking at, I know, because he told us, and I'll just speak for him on this part, at least because he put this in the chat in the VIP Discord for everybody that's in there helping us all out, was that if you look at this man's rebound chances over the last bunch of games, they're stupid. And it's not just that he's gotten his rebound chances high. The other thing that Free Sauce brought our way was that he's been playing in the last 5 games right here, where he's been going over consistently on the boards. He's been playing all of those without Matisse Thybulle, who was somebody that was sort of rivaling him for minutes on the floor, right? So if we look at that, games without Matisse Thybulle, this is huge because there's a legit change in what happened to the lineups, right? Matisse Thybulle goes out. We can use that to our advantage. We can see how that has impacted things now, and we can see where the books are still slow to catch up, right? That's what we're looking at here. If the books have not taken into account that Toumani Camara gets more rebounds when he doesn't play alongside, when Matisse Thybulle is out, we have information that the books don't have that we can use to our advantage. And we only know this because Free Sauce is a psychopath who's up until, butt fuck in the morning researching all this shit to help us all out. So thank you for that, Free Sauce, for being addicted to this shit and doing it the right way, because that's a really, really, really good look, right? To be able to say there was a change in the lineup. The books have not realized that there was a change in the lineup. Now we can bet on some Toumani Camara stuff because we're getting value because we have more info than the books do, right? So yeah. Yeah, we also got to get to Lord Coin Respector. Bro, Amber, I just gave a whole answer to your question and you didn't hear it. Go back in the video, all right, check it out, because that's going to be the answer to what we were talking about with the triple double. That's hilarious though. All right, so let's get to Toumani. I get that entirely. Let's see if Joel is out. The other thing is, if you're a forward against Philly when Joel is playing, we've talked about this before. This is another angle to consistently try to go back to. Josh Hart rebounds against Philly, right? Toumani Camara rebounds against Philly. Athletic Miles Bridges rebounds against Philly. Athletic forwards who are looking to go get boards and are aggressive, not Jason Tatum because he's soft sometimes. That was so annoying yesterday that Tatum there was like 4 moments where I was like, Tatum, if you took 2 steps forward towards the basket, you could get a rebound. Jason Tatum is not hungry for boards sometimes. Anyway, but the guys like Toumani and these athletic wings, these are great looks against the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe now might not be the same, but let me see here. Power forwards against the 76ers rebounds. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm not lying to y'all. So they are giving up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th most rebounds to the power forward position. Small forward, they might be a little better. But once again, I don't really know how people are phrasing the differences between small and power forwards these days, so I don't really give a shit. But for power forward, that's where we'll put Toumani for sure. And Denny Avdia might come in and steal a few things, but he's been a rebounding machine. They are bad against athletic wings that want to get rebounds. So you take those types of dudes against Philly just to add to the point that Free Sauce was making about Toumani. Let's get to this Knicks game. And as I bring up this Knicks game, one more reminder, go ahead and give that video a like if you would. We got about to cross 1,000. Would be dope if we got another 14 people in here and we got to the 4-digi mark. That'd be fire on a Monday. 5 away. Appreciate you guys. Give that video a like if you would. And as you're coming in, realize that the bottom line scrolling has the has the bets that we've already made. So the full card is scrolling there. If you're not in the VIP Discord, if you're in the VIP Discord, you already have access to all the bets as soon as they come out. If you want access to the VIP Discord, go ahead and sign up for one of the books that are linked in the description of the video. If you don't have Underdog, if you don't have BetMGM, you don't have Better, Sleeper, there's a bunch of options in there. Sign up for a book, screenshot it, and use code LYB so that we get credit here on the show. Use code LYB when you sign up, screenshot that you did that, and send it my way at JL Boogie, which is going to be on Discord or on Twitter. So at JL Boogie, DM me a screenshot of you signing up for these books with code LYB. I'll get you a free month in the Discord. Plus, you get all this free money and stuff, right? So appreciate y'all. Let's keep it rolling. We got, I'm not even tired yet, so let's get going. You know what I mean? Let's look at the New York game. Here's what scares me about New York, y'all. What scares me about New York is I think they're going to wipe the floor with this team this game. And I should have been on this last game. It was a weird game against the Wizards. Jordan Poole was out last game, which Jordan Poole's out this game as well. It was the third game in 4 nights for the Knicks. And it was a close game because they came out. Tibbs is a fucking psychopath and keeps playing his starters 40 minutes against the worst team in the conference. Tibbs is playing his starters 40 minutes. Beyond me. That was just a bad call. They should have been playing the backups. I'm also mad because we missed our Miles McBride bet. But that's what scares me about this one is that this thing's going to be a blowout. What's Alexander Sarr's number? Okay, see, 11.5 is doable. 11.5 is a way better number than 12.5. And we took 12.5 last game like some fools. So also mazel tov to everybody. We got above the 1,000 viewer mark. So appreciate you guys. Haven't broken the record yet, but that's because we had a show with 6K last year to end the season. I can't wait for that again. The last day of the season, I just get like all the cappers in one show and we get it going. It's hella fun. We had like 27 bets that we found during the live show for like 2 hours last year on a Sunday, which was awesome. But appreciate you guys, man. This is a big milestone. So really, really appreciate it. We're making plays here on the live show. And I hope you guys are getting stuff out of this because this is the most crucial time. We got all the news coming out. This is like, I'm not trying to trash anybody, but you can't just put a video out at the night before in the NBA and be like, here's my bets. Hopefully it works. No, like there's so much more info coming out right now and all that. This is the way to do it. So we're going to keep it rolling here with this live show every day. We've been getting it on Saturdays too, somehow, because my wife hasn't made me do stuff with her, which is, I'm just kidding, baby. I love you. All right. So for SAR, 11.5 plus 104. Look, this is all you, Free Sauce. Like this is your boy right here. Please have at it. I definitely not telling you not to. It's okay to take center's points against the Knicks. I believe it's just the minutes. That's what it comes down to for SAR. And I was watching last game knowing good and well, wow, he had 32 last game. Took the 10 shots. I guess he had a bad shooting game, right? I mean, 2 for 4 from 3. But see, that's the thing. So it's 25, 33, 33, 28, 25, 27. Like, I just don't know how to cap his minutes. Let's see what ETR has him for real quick. Alexander Sarr. And once again, for those of y'all not familiar with ETR, establish the run. This is behind a paywall, a pretty hefty paywall if you want to get this info, but they have very, very, very good and accurate projections. And I'll also push you to their live show on YouTube at 2 p.m. Eastern every day on the weekdays. Establish the Run NBA is coming out with crucial injury information, rotation information. These dudes are tapped in like behind the scenes with the beat writers and whatnot. They have access to a lot of information that helps you make your bets. So I definitely recommend at least following them in some capacity. They have them at 27 minutes, 10 points in this one. Doesn't get you to 12 like you need it. I just don't love it against the Knicks, even though, how are centers doing against them? Center points. Yeah, they're not good. It's tough. Even with Cap and his average at best defense. What do you put Cat's defense? Average at best these days? Maybe below average. Man fouls a lot, but I don't even know that that's going to be his matchup. So it's still a good bet. I still agree with Free Sauce that this is going to be a look. 11.5 is not where I want to play him. For his stuff, it's not enough for me of an edge, but I see where you're at with it. I can't really get next to this game, to be honest with you. Because the Knicks, it's just that you got to take their starters. I can't put a bet on their backups like Miles or anybody else when they just don't play minutes. Even when they blow teams out, they got Brunson in the fourth quarter up by 20, right? I like Tibbs, man. He's helping our team out, but I'm a Knicks fan. But like, can you just be like a little bit less insane? All right, so Mikhail is the what did you call him, Free Sauce? Let me look again. What the comment was. The Lord Coin. Yes, thank you, David. Lord Coin Respecter. Definitely. Yo, it's so funny because JK, Hannah Not Hannah, dropped in the VIP chat one day. He was like he was talking about like Goga or somebody. He was like Coin Respecter, and that has become our preferred term in the VIP these days to talk about the dudes we love. All right. So, and by the way, Goga, right? Goga Bataze, number one coin respect. David, is it Goga? Is Goga the number one coin respecter in the league?
He's my Dolce right now. My Dolce.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, he's the man. And the gif of him just like whenever he gets announced before every game, he's just like he's so shy.
If he misses a rebound, he like hangs his head in shame.
I know.
Just for missing. It's great.
He's the GOAT. Yeah, he cares. He's a coin respecter, man. That's what it comes down to. So we got 17.5 for Bridges. I don't know why his shit stays at like 16.5, 17.5. He's gotten 17 twice in this run of games where he's a goddamn killer. Absolute killer. Let me see here. Let's just put this down to that Pelly's game when he started going bananas. And we took him in that Pelly's game because they suck against catch and shoot once again, right? And Mikal Bridges doing a lot of catch and shoot. This team is actually ranked 8th versus the spot up for the Wizards. So something to keep in mind. But how are they against the catch and shoot? I believe I already have that up right here, right? So I'm on NBA Advanced Stats for those of you guys just jumping in that didn't see me use NBA Advanced Stats earlier. And the Pelican, who am I talking about? I am talking about the Wizards. So the Wizards, in terms of catch and shoot, they're actually not that bad, right? They're actually giving up like the 10th, 11th. Goatga, yo. Oh, man, we got Goga in the chat, yo. This is fucking monumental. I'm glad we had our best day on the stream to impress you, Goga. But appreciate you, my brother. Like, keep it going. He's from Georgia, not Georgia, like Georgia. All right, so for the Wizards, it just sucks. Like, it doesn't matter that they give up a lot of shit to catch and shoot, to be honest, because they just suck everywhere. Again, apologies to my homie Van Negro Jones, but like, it's true, brother. Your team's bad. If we look at the pull-ups here, what's the frequency with which pull-ups are taken against them? It actually doesn't seem like it matters that much. Nice. So you're telling JK's telling the SAR 2+3s, right? That was the look from Free Sauce specifically. Let me interrupt myself because I don't think I gave that credit. I just looked at the points. Threes are plus 115. Wowie wee wah. Okay, then. This makes a lot of sense. So he's taken 4, 6. It's the 6 that we need him to get to, right? And he has taken 6 quite a bit recently, but he's just been wet from 3, man. This makes total sense at plus 114. Wow. I think I'm going to tail you, Free Sauce. Why wouldn't I? Let's center 3s against this Knicks team. Yeah, that's going to be much better. That's way better than the points. So they're giving up like the 5th, 6th most 3s to the position because they play drop defense. They don't really play defense, man. I hate that the way they look right now. But it's interesting that they give up so many 3s and not points. So the 3s is the way to go for SAR, for sure. I think I'm going to tail you on that, my G. Plus 115 on Bet365. If he gets 4 attempts, let's do it. Let me look at that. I'm just looking. 3-point attempts. Let's say he gets 4 to 6 3-point attempts on the season. And there's another thing here, right? I can take the advanced filters. There's a whole bunch of options here, y'all. Make sure you're playing around with this if you have Props Madness. And if you don't have Props Madness, make sure you're using code LYB to sign up for 25% off that first month. So he is over in 12 of 22 when he gets 4 to 6 attempts. And I don't hate that. Now, he's been hot lately. In these games, he's at 50%, 33, 50, 50, 50. Yeah, I mean, he's only got it. It's going to have to hit close to 50 again, but this is a good matchup for it. So I think we ride once we get to plus 1. Oh, and they're moving it. Oh, we got a mole in the chat. Come on, dude. Who's spilling the beans? Who's spilling the beans? Chicago. What's this? Do we still have his 3s up? Oh, no, not Chicago. What are you doing, dumbass? Go to New York. Something just happened because they all just took down Alexander Sarr's 3s while we're looking at it. Coincidence? Plus 105. That's still doable. Plus 110 on DK. I cannot believe that it just disappeared on all these places. It's probably going to come back. Let me see about this one real quick on DK. Player 3s. Where are you at? 3s. Player 3s for SAR. 2+ is plus 105, but Over 1.5 is plus 110. I think that's a good look. I'm scared to tail it because I'm scared of threes, to be honest. And I just don't have as much confidence in them. But this is a look, and Free Sauce is fearless. So I totally trust you, bro. All right, I am going to roll. The only other things that I'll be looking at, and I'll just leave you guys with this, and I got to get some bets in on the card for the VIP. So I'll leave you all with this for Dallas and Sacramento. The best look always against Sacramento is catch and shoot. Once again, just looking at catch and shoot stuff here on NBA Advanced Stats to see which teams are giving up the most off the catch and shoot. Field goals made, the Kings are 4th worst. They're giving up the 4th most makes off the catch and shoot. The guys that I'd be loving to target would be like Quentin Grimes and PJ's playing, so maybe PJ. But the problem is like it's gonna be Spencer Dinwiddie's show, not Luka or Kyrie, which is also why I like the assists, for Dinwiddie. Let me get up here, see where they're at. 6.5. So I got to go back to NBA Advanced, the Fantasy Labs here. I'm going to go to Dallas. For those of you guys just jumping in, first of all, give that video a like, if you would. Goes a long way. Secondly, this is Fantasy Labs, so I can see on court, off court. How do guys do when they play with different combinations of players, so I can see what's going to happen in this game. So for Dallas, I know that Kyrie is off court because he's not playing, and I know that Luka is off court because he's still hurt for another few games. So let me take both of Kyrie and Luka off and just see what that looks like. So the man playing the most minutes without those two guys on the floor is Spencer Dinwiddie because he's Luka's backup and kind of Kyrie's backup to a degree. So we've got them. Is Jaden Hardy playing? Let me see real quick. Let me update this injury report from the NBA. Pull this up to see about Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy actually is playing, it looks like. Interesting. Jaden Hardy might be a good look for points too, to be honest. That's a microwave score for Jaden. Formerly known as JJ Hardy. Not sure why he changed his name. I guess it would be Jaden Jr., right? Yeah, that makes sense. Dinwiddie on the dimes. What's this? Sec is giving up their 16th, limiting assists. What about to point guards specifically? Do they give up a lot of dimes to point guards? You would assume that if a team is giving up a lot off the catch and shoot, that they'd be giving. So maybe they are. That they're giving up a lot of assists to point guards. And that kind of checks out. That they are giving up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th most assists per game to the point guard because the point guard has the ball in their hands and is passing it off to the dudes who are waiting to catch and shoot. It's another reason why they don't give up points to the point guard. They are 4th best limiting points to the position, 6th worst limiting assists. Because that tells the story that the point guard is forced to get the ball out of his hands because they play pressure defense. At the same time, Mike Brown was their head coach. He's the defensive coordinator as well, who was bringing this pressure defense. Is he still going to do it? Probably. But man, this Kings team sucks, dude. It's bad right now. So I think Dinwiddie's the play is the assists. You can also see if you go down, let me pull up Quentin Grimes. I do like him on the points. Quentin Grimes scores all of his shit off spot up, right? 4 points, 43%. So almost half of his points come off of the spot up. He's shooting 20% of his shots from a corner 3, 5% in this corner, he's scoring 20% of his points off of corner 3s, 15% over here, 5% over here. The Kings defense is terrible in the corners. You can see that. They're also bad up top. They're just a bad 3-point defense, honestly, is really what this comes down to for Sac. So I like Quentin Grimes on the points because of the catch and shoot. I suppose you should like PJ Washington for the catch and shoot. I'm going to tell you right now, I have zero trust in this man. I think Amber is with me on that. I'm pretty sure Amber was trashing PJ the other day, which I am also a fan of because he's so fucking, talk about a lack of respect for the coin from PJ. Like just when he's supposed to show up, dude doesn't. So definitely not trying to ride with him. But Quentin Grimes might be a play. His shit's at 14.5, which is wild, but there's not much left for this squad. Clay is obviously another catch and shoot guy, but he's going to be responsible for getting the ball out into his hand. Like who's going to get him the ball? I guess Dinwiddie. Once again, I do like the Dinwiddie assists. That's kind of where I'm coming to. And you can still get 5.5 here. That's what I'm going to be monitoring. I'm going to see what this market pressure does to the Spencer Dinwiddie assists. Remember, like market pressure, exactly. I knew you were with me on that, Amber. The market pressure that I'm talking about here is let's see what people think because this might get to 5.5 and a little bit better. Or maybe we have to take it at 6.5 at a pretty good number here, like a plus money number. So you just got to watch these lines and make sure that you're tracking things, because it's not about just betting it right away. It's about seeing how the market impacts things as well and finding your spot to hit, right, and to jump in. It's just like buy low, sell high on the stock market, man. This is all stock market that's going to move up and down. You've got to buy in at the right time to get the best price. Otherwise, you're buying Bitcoin at 100,000 a share or whatever, right? So that's not going to do it. So that's what I'd be looking at there. I know we got some people in the Discord and the VIP who love De'Aaron Fox tonight because they see him as the reason that Mike Brown got fired. Probably not totally wrong, but that's not necessarily enough of a reason, although there's not much in the way of – actually, they're probably going to be better on defense. All right, I got to come back to this game on that one. But like I said, everything that we've already bet is scrolling on the bottom line. I do think Walker Kessler is going to be a bet. I'm going to let my ADD run for another 2 seconds to say – that this is another VIP capper in the Discord. Go see Mike. Kessler is super cheap at -105, 10.5 points, -149.5, 5-second handicap. F it. Ladder to 15, but he needs even numbers to cash. Not shooting threes, nobody's fouling him. Yeah, I love the 5-second handicapping. I love that. We should incorporate that into the show so that my ADD stays on point. Oh shit, Josh Hart from Silver Springs. Oh, because they're playing DC. This is a DMV look right here for Jay Hart? How's he done against Washington? I know he did well against them last time. Pete, I appreciate you being around too, man. I love the looks that you bring and the angles that you have as well. Let me see here. Jay Hart. He's down to 11.5 points. Interesting. Why? What's up with Jay Hart? Does he have like a weird minutes thing today?
Maybe just
free shot. No, wait. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe just a blowout.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. You're right, bro. I hate to hear that. Man, you really be getting into the muck, dude. You get into those nasty games, which respect, because if you find the value in there, you're gonna be one of the few people sifting through that game. So I can see where you're talking about there. Yeah, so Kessler, I'd be looking at the double-double. I like the rebounds the most for Kessler against Denver. So that's where I'll be looking at there. And then free sauce, what was your triple-double parlay? Do you remember what it was, David? He had
I think I missed it.
He had Josh Giddey. Yeah, it's in the chat, but
I'll find it.
Oh no, here it is. I got you started. I got a Giddey. Oh, yeah, it was Josh Hart. I knew it was Jay Hart. So Jay Hart triple double, a little sprinkle that got you like 190 to 1 for a little sprinkle from one of the VIPs throwing a nice lottery dart throw y'all's way. But 2 triple doubles today, one from Josh, the other from Josh. It's a good day to be a Josh. So give that video a like, y'all. Really, really goes a long way for me. So I much appreciate if you guys are getting anything out of it. Really grateful that we got up to over 1K in the stream live here. We've been staying above 1,000 for the most part. So I appreciate the shit out of you guys, man, because this has been, bro, like we started this not even a year ago, started this last April, and Free Sauce just jumped in the chat and was like, bro, you should start a Discord. And now we got the Land Your Bets Network. So appreciate you, Free Sauce, and everybody that's been here from the jump. Go ahead and like that video. And if you do want to jump in the VIP one last time, I'll let y'all know. We got a free month coming your way if you want to jump in by signing up for a sportsbook that you don't yet have. So use code LYB either on Underdog, BetMGM. We've also got Sleeper. We've also got BETR. I think REBET is about to end, but we can still get that one. So either way, if you do want to jump in for a free month, sign up, use code LYB, get all your free money, get all your bonus bets, and then screenshot that to me and send it to @JLBoogie on Twitter and or Discord. We're going to get an official email here going soon because that'll be making it much easier for communications. But I'm going to get a video up tonight for tomorrow in the NBA, and we'll be back with the live show, as always, tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, so we can get right. Probably have a little champagne or something, right? We got to get that shit. So no doubt, bro. Good name for you too, Swish. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, jump in there. I'll hope to talk to you guys soon. If you want to jump into the free Discord as well, that's where you will be able to get shit like Free Sauce's looks. Mike has looks in there. Buddy Irons, Legacy, Hannah. We got Street Cred. We got roughly 7 in there. Jew Boogie's still in there. Apologies, I haven't even mentioned Jew Boogie in a minute. I know she's been busy with life, but another great look, great capper in there with good looks. So I'll be back tomorrow, y'all, and tonight for those of you guys checking out the video. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube page. Until I see you next, happy betting.